No one. I gotta get through this. 6 years ago, no one believed that I could become a state representative.
Jasmine Crockett, she got voted out. She lost her seat. I'm not shocked because she's a nut job. She wasn't qualified to be there anyway. But here's the news clip rolling.
Results are in for the first primaries of this year's high-stakes midterm elections, with Texas-sized implications for control of Congress. Four-term Republican incumbent Senator John Cornyn is now headed to a runoff in May with State Attorney General Ken Paxton, with neither candidate winning a majority of the vote. Cornyn casting Paxton as a liability for a series of scandals, from a 2023 impeachment on bribery charges he was acquitted by the state Senate, to a messy, ongoing public divorce.
I refuse to allow a flawed, self-centered, and shameless candidate like Ken Paxton risk everything we've worked so hard to build over these many years.
Paxton, who's built his credentials through aggressively suing for conservative causes, pushing back.
You listened to what John Cornyn was selling, and you weren't buying it. Tonight, change was on the ballot, and change won.
Whoever prevails in that bruising battle will face Democratic State Representative James Tallarico, who NBC News now projects defeated Representative Jasmine Crockett, as Democrats look to make a play for the traditionally red state, pointing to high turnout.
We are not just trying to win an election. We are trying to fundamentally change our politics, and it's working.
All right, so Jasmine Crockett got outed. You can see that there's a controversy. I wish we would have used that clip in another part, because there's a controversy. We'll get to Paxton and all of that. And I'll say this. If you have a divorce and you're in public office, you need to step down. So you need to take care of your family. I'm just saying this right off the bat. And it's nothing. People hate divorces all the time. God don't like divorce, but people are humans. They make mistakes. They shouldn't have been married to certain people. Some people cheat, or whatever the case may be. If you're in public office and you have a divorce that's public and it's all out there, you need to step down and focus on your family. That's all I have to say. Brand new shirt that's out. They just developed this. This shirt is absolutely fire. You can get that at tatumstore.com. Tatumstore.com. If you're watching this on the television, just pause the screen, scan the QR code, and it'll lead you to the store. You could put in Epic Fury 26 and get 20% off. And for all the members who are members, we got a special discount code we're going to give to you. So if you're a member, we're going to give you a discount code that's much more substantial than 20% off, because we love you and we appreciate you. Continue with Jasmine Crockett. I'm assuming this is another Jasmine Crockett clip. Roll it.
There's a lot of big stories coming out right now out of last night's election, and one of them is going to be the Latino vote in Texas. That's really what propelled James Tallarico over Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine Crockett is set to likely, this will likely be the end of her political career as we know it. She had to not run in the primary for her House seat, so I imagine you'll see her leftist nonsense all over the news going forward, including her election denialism here. But that Latino vote you see in Texas is going to be a key indicator going not only into the runoff for Republicans, but also into the general election. This is a base that moved quite frequently. You saw a big move in the 2024 election for those Latino voters toward Republicans. And are we going to see that pendulum swing back? With this runoff coming in May, you will see what is going to continue to be one of the most expensive primary in U.S. history. All eyes on Texas.
All right, go back to the clip where you can show Jasmine Crockett crap and that other guy. I told you, black people, and y'all don't listen to me because you let these other fools tell you that I'm an Uncle Tom Coon sellout bootlicker. I told you that your vote is going to stop mattering. You should have been having babies and quit going to Planned Parenthood. You should be raising your young boys so they don't end up in prison. You got all of these things that you should have been doing. You should have been voting for candidates that were keeping these illegal aliens out of the country and prioritizing your community. But you didn't, because you hate Donald Trump and you hate the white man so much that you didn't oust yourself out of voting power. This is a perfect example. Black people, you have no more power. It's the Latino now. They are the majority minority. Now what they want, will come first. Now what their community needs will come first. The black and brown stuff was a sham. You ignorant folk that didn't listen to me. There's no such thing as black and brown. Black folks should have been standing up for what black folks need in the community. They done hijacked the civil rights movement to add brown, and then the brown is over the black. The black and brown was never about black people. It was really to incorporate brown into the civil rights movement. And now they hijacked your effort and energy to prioritize brown. Same thing with the LGBTQ. Your first black president, who was half-breed, first black president is prioritizing what? The LGBTQ. Hijacked our forefathers who fought to have a vote and have rights in this country, and now it's about Hispanics and gays. That's what you get. Come on. Jasmine Crockett crying herself to sleep after she took a massive L, talking about, we don't know what the result's going to be tonight. No, you did. You knew exactly what look at that number. That result came that night. Roll the clip.
So that's my news, is that we're not going to have election results tonight, in my opinion, based upon what specifically is taking place in Dallas County. Unfortunately, this is what Republicans like to do.
It's got to do with Republicans.
And so they specifically targeted Dallas County, and I think we all know why. So I want you to enjoy yourselves, but I won't be back tonight because I have no idea of when we're going to get results, and I fully anticipate it won't be until tomorrow. So I love y'all too. Thank you so very much for being here. Love you down. I love you down, Dallas.
I love you down. What did that mean? All right, come on, give her another clip. Roll it.
All Red has already stated, we encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote, stand in line, wait in line.
She claimed that Republicans had anything to do with this. Why the other man ain't say nothing about Republicans? He won. Ain't the confusion didn't confuse his people. Now you lost, sis. I told y'all, I tried to warn you, black folks. You messed up. Now it's too late. You'll never have a vote again. You definitely won't have a vote in Texas. I'm telling you. And Texas has the highest population of black people in the entire country. And y'all just blew it. You kept voting for them Democrats. And look at where you at. Primaried. All right, let's go to Scott Jennings real quick. I think Scott Jennings had is this Scott Jennings? Yeah, Scott Jennings wrote a clip.
By the whole thing with Stephen Colbert. That was a big rocket for him. He had to be a real news nerd to know who he was before then. But that moment where, suddenly, Stephen Colbert, who's obviously a legend among Democrats, says, hey, this kid, Trump and these guys don't want to hear from. I'm going to let you hear from him now. That's when he really, he got $2.5 million, I think, the next day. And it put him on the map. You could see it kind of irritated Jasmine Crockett a little bit that he was getting all this attention. Because up until then, she was very far ahead. If, in fact, he closes, probably that's the day that started.
Yeah, I definitely think it was true. Like you said, we obviously knew Tallarico. We were covering him, looking at, the kind of personality he was, but it was completely different after that.
Pay for that level.
You can't, which is ironic because it was Jasmine Crockett who before was getting all the sort of, earned media online.
Scott, you look skeptical.
Look, let's just admit it was an op, right? Trump had nothing to do with it. It was CBS's lawyers that had raised internal issues about it. It was a total sort of a hoax about how they positioned it. But I tend to agree.
Details.
I know. I'm glad that's what you think. But I tend to agree.
It was a hoax. They positioned it to get attention to the interview. That's all they did it for. It had nothing to do with Donald Trump. Their own network said that you cannot cover two candidates like that on the network, but they used that to talk about it on the network to lead you to the actual interview. It's marketing 101. And to be honest, the Talavero guy, whatever his name is, he's a much more articulate person, and he can articulate a plan moving forward and not being a ghetto bird. People are sick of that ghetto fake attitude that Jasmine Crockett had, swinging her neck and sister girl in every single day while she's on the news, and she's a complete idiot. It only go so far when it comes to how are you articulating to the people about things that matter to them. And that idiot who beat her is one of the Democrats' top candidates in the state of Texas. I'm telling you, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Jasmine Crockett had no chance. She's running against any one of the guys for the position. She has no chance.